Yeah, dude, it's been a while.
Yeah, man. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. Kids are keeping me busy. I've got a 3-year-old and a fucking 4-month-old.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
4-month-olds make me want to pull my hair out, but that's
Yeah.
just
No
part of
sleep,
parenting.
of course.
How you been, man? I saw you've been playing a lot of shows lately, huh?
Yeah, man. Been pretty busy, doing a lot of touring, a lot of playing, a lot of working, and yeah, just keeping busy, staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I ended up getting that album as soon as it dropped. I remember it came in early too, man. Because what
Yeah.
would y'all end up would it drop in May on
Uh,
Spotify, huh?
I'll, uh, what?
When did it drop on Spotify?
March
Oh, March.
31st.
Yeah, March. Sorry, I'm thinking May for some reason. Yeah, I remember
March
getting it. I
31st.
got it a little earlier in March, sometime in March. Like, I think
Yeah.
I got it like the first
Yeah.
week of March.
Yeah, it's because Craig from Heathen was sending them out. 'Cause he hooked us up with the printing and stuff.
Yeah.
So he just did it. He just sent all the pre-orders from his place before we went out because we had a Heathen tour in March. So
Oh,
he
okay.
just sent it
Yeah, it was pretty
before we
badass.
went.
That was an amazing surprise for me. I'll tell you that. I opened it. I started jumping up and down.
Oh yeah,
But I'll tell you this, man. Before we even get into talking about the album, I just want to let you know I think it's absolutely amazing. From the first track to the last. I mean, the first track on there, which is the New Throne.
yeah,
That's probably the song I've played more than any of them. Um,
cool.
it's just that there's a riff that y'all were playing doing the solos. It gets me every time. I love it. And I actually have a copy for my car, and I got a copy to keep at home. So I am listening
Sick.
to it nonstop, man.
I love it. Thanks so much, man.
Oh yeah, it's easily the best piece of artwork I have heard in like decades, man.
Thanks so much. Fuck yeah, that's killer.
And you guys are definitely my favorite band right now. So
Hell
the
yeah,
more
thanks
I
so much.
hear, the more I like. And I noticed you all just put out another video not too long ago, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like we did the last summer we released the Forces single,
Yeah, I remember that
and
one.
and then when the Sinister music video came out sometime in the winter, I think,
Okay.
like in January or February.
Man, I'm
We
behind on
sent
my YouTube then.
Yeah, the Sinister Obsession music video, and then we just did a live video of us doing Battle of Beyond when we played in Toronto in March, um, and then Jonah, the guitar player, he's just been uploading random videos once in a while. So I think he did. Because when we made the record, we made like a little Fugazi documentary on the making of. So I think he just uploaded a few of those parts. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he just uploaded.
Yeah, actually, I just watched them last night. It was 3 parts.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
yeah, yeah.
I
Uh,
definitely like y'all's vibe. Y'all seem to like y'all click really well. Y'all all get along and
yeah,
shit.
man.
Yeah, Kyle's really been fucking pissing me off. Like, fuck.
Yeah, they're all great, man. Like, yeah, we all get along great and same page, you know. So we definitely work well as a band together for sure.
Your bass player, what's his name, Steven, huh? That dude,
Steve, yeah,
man, that dude can play some bass. I was just blown
dude,
away how quick he was like moving them fingers, dude. He's so good.
it actually is really irritating how little credit he gets
Dude,
because no, I mean everyone talks about the drums and the guitars, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, because I played the bass on the other Invicta releases.
yeah,
This was his first album with us, and before, like, just only a few months before we tracked it, he started playing with his fingers.
really.
Like he
Yeah, I
was
remember
only
he was
playing
saying he used the pick, but started doing the
yeah,
fingers,
he
yeah.
picked the whole time. But when I play bass, I use my fingers. So he's like, okay, when I track the record, I want to use my fingers to keep it consistent.
I can't feel my fucking fingers. After playing 8 to 9 hours, my fingers they have rocks on top of them. Like, the skin is a rock. It's fucked.
And I was like, okay, that's sweet. You don't have to. Like, I don't expect you to.
That's pretty
And
awesome,
then
dude. He shredded on that album, man. It was
and
so
dude,
good.
and the thing about Steve, like, you just put any instrument in his hands, and like he's just a master at it. He's probably the best guitar player in the band. Like,
Really, that's awesome.
Steve is just one of the most complete musicians I've ever met in my life, and he's a great dude. I love him to death. But yeah, his bass playing on the record, we did a lot of pre-production and a lot of rehearsing before we recorded. Um, but like, while we were recording these tracks, we were kind of like going with the flow and be like, okay, you know what? Hey, let's try doing this here. Let's try doing this here, and just boom, 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 knocking
Knocking
all
it out,
everything
huh?
apart. All the ideas, and yeah, I think I tried to give him a couple cool spots on the record to shred a little bit, like the end of Embodiment of Infamy. He's got a cool run, arpeggiated run, and New Throne at the end when he's like
Yeah,
doing
that's
power metal.
that's
Jonah.
that's another part that drew me into that song, man. It's like that last like 15 seconds of that song, he's just fucking shredding, man.
Yeah,
He's a
for
fucking
sure. Because
monster.
I was like, dude, you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And uh, live when he played Forces of Annihilation, um, in the break after the solo section, when it's just the one guitar doing
Yeah, yeah.
live, because me and Jonah are both coming out of like a dual lead. It was just when we were rehearsing it to play it live, it was just not working out, and we came up with the idea. I'm like, hey Steve, you play that riff. So like he plays it down and then he plays it like super high.
Yeah.
This cool bass shreddy part, and I'm like, in hindsight, I'm like, fuck, I wish that was on the record. He'd give him even more.
Oh, so he
like,
just does it in the live shows, huh?
Yeah, in the live shows, he plays that riff, and he shreds it, and it's so sick. And yeah, I hate that he doesn't get the credit he deserves in the band.
I'll throw him all the credit, man. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's a vital part to the sound for sure.
Well, it's just like a lot of other newer like metal bands that I'm listening to. It seems like you said they push the guitars and the drums more than anything. But I don't know, something
Yeah,
with this album, man. It's like I heard everything. I heard both guitars. I heard the bass, vocals. Like everything is just so clean and you can hear
yeah.
everything.
So Jonah mixed the record, and yeah, he did a fantastic job. I originally wanted to like get a guy to do it because Jonah, he did halls and he did a bunch of local stuff, and I just I wanted to be pro, have a guy do it, um, what and then we're like figuring out all the logistics behind it after the songs were done and whatever, and it was just like he was just like, dude, let me do it. I think I can do it, whatever. And I was like hesitant because I'm like, I don't know, like, because he was Jonah. The thing about Jonah is when he's not working, he's still working. Like he's just constantly
Always
going.
going, yeah.
So I'm like, I want to give him a break so that he can focus on
The music.
being a musician,
Gotcha,
instead
yeah.
of an engineer.
Yeah, I remember in the video he was
And-
talking about that, trying to like recording the album's one thing, but then like shifting focus to like actually like
Yeah.
tracking it is it's just two different mindsets.
Yeah, it is two different mindsets, and like I just he had tracked we tracked a bunch of stuff. He's done a bunch of records and stuff, and I just wanted to give him a break. But he's like, you know what, let's do it.
He's like, what the fuck is a break, man? Ain't no time for
Yeah,
breaks.
he's like, let's do it, whatever. And then I'm love the mix of it. I think because Hall's the bass was just a little too loud because I'm old school. My favorite like style of bass playing is like the 70s bass playing when it's like you can hear it above the guitars.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way. Like original,
Oh,
like the first
Hall-
Iron Maiden album, dude. Like so bass
yeah,
heavy.
man, like exactly. And so Halls, it was just a little bit too much bass up front. And so I think this mix that Jonah did for Triumph just really nailed it. the overall hearing everything, all the notes, all of the tracks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely, it's very clean. And I'll
Mhm.
definitely say this, man, that what is the Preeminence is the instrumental y'all did on that.
Yeah.
That's the best 58 seconds I've ever heard in my life, man. It's
Thanks,
just
man. Yeah,
so
that,
damn
that was
good.
cool. Originally, that was just supposed to be one track, like Preeminence Embodiment. It was
With
one
it,
track.
yeah. Yeah, you could tell it blends perfectly.
And it was supposed to be like the band playing it and like a lead guitar, and then like layers on the lead
Yeah.
with like distorted chords, like an epic intro. And Reef hated it.
Really?
He hated my demo of it. He was so not in for it. And then, but Jonah liked like the idea, whatever, and so he's like, let me figure this out. So he, spent a couple days at home, and then he just sent me the demo of it. And the demo of it was so good that what you hear on the record was the demo he sent me.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's
What you
dude,
hear- yeah.
it's good.
The only thing
I
we
like
did-
it.
The only thing that we did was added the distorted guitars halfway through.
Yeah, toward the end of it, yeah.
Um,
Man, it's so good
that's the only
though.
thing. Yeah, everything else, it was just all because it was supposed to be like a lead kind of guitar solo thing, and then it turned into this cool kind of what's the word? Kind of like interlude intro.
Yeah. That's what it kind of just feels like. It builds up the next song.
Yeah. Jonah really knocked it out of the park with that one. Because I find, for me, writing that stuff or whatever, and if I have like an idea, I have a hard time, like, seeing that idea in a different view. So
Yeah.
Jonah doing that was like the best case scenario for sure. Because I'm like, I want to the music itself is good. I want to use it. But I want the guys to be happy with it.
Yeah.
At the same time.
That's good, man. I like that. There's no
yeah,
egos going on around there.
So super cool for sure.
And your drummer's a badass too, because I saw the thing about him, breaking his ankle or some shit.
Yeah, man, he broke his ankle. I don't know, 6 months or something like that before we started recording.
Jeez, that's insane.
Yeah, he had a motorcycle accident, broke his ankle.
Fuck.
But he came back. The first thing that we did as soon as he could step on a drum pedal is we recorded that Iron Maiden Killers cover.
Oh damn, it's that while back, huh? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Man, time
this,
seems so weird when we actually sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, Triumph. I started writing it in the middle of 2019.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that when we were talking with Chris and all that.
Yeah, and then we recorded the album. Like the album was done in 2021. The album was done in April of 2021, and then but it was in the middle of COVID, and then we were trying.
Things were very
go on
weird.
label. We were trying to go on a label and be legit and whatever, and then the last year I got the Heathen gig, so I was gone for 6 months on tour, and then Jonah is also a front of house sound guy, and he was on tour with a couple different bands, and so the schedules are just not lining up, and we're like, fuck it, if we don't release this now, it's never gonna come out. So yeah, that's why I wish we could have released it right when it was finished, but
No, I think it's came out of perfect time, man. Especially now you're able to tour it and all that.
yeah, for sure.
Because it's hard to put out just music and then not be able to go out and play it. I mean, I haven't played a live show in nearly 10 to 15 years, but still, I still remember what it feels like wanting to get out there on stage.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It sucks not playing the songs when you're like itching to play them. I don't make music to sit here and play by myself. You know, I
Yeah.
make them to play for people. You know.
Yeah, show it off, definitely, for sure. So, I know you probably don't get the chance to do this very often, but I remember you mentioning the album was based on one of your favorite comic stories. So
Oh yeah,
if
the
you
whole
kind of want to geek out and
every
explain them a little bit, you go ahead.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the album is called Triumph and Torment. And it's based off of the story Triumph and Torment, right? I think it's Roger Stern. It's an 1989 graphic novel about Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange. Basically, the story is they're being summoned by the Vishanti to find the new Sorcerer Supreme, and they're all gathered, and all of the sorcerers are gathered to compete. And then Doctor Doom shows up, and they're like, "Why is he here?" And they're like, "Well, because he's a sorcerer." And everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And then him and Doctor Strange kind of like battle it up till the end. Doctor Strange wins, but because Doctor Doom did whatever, he's like, "Okay, you owe this guy a favor." And Doctor Doom's like, "Okay, but my favor is you're gonna come with me. You're gonna come to hell, and we're gonna try to free my mother's soul." And that's the story summed up. They go to fight the devil, it's a great story. I love it a lot, and I was like, yeah, I want to make like a Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner style song about it. And yeah, it was like the second song I wrote for the album. The first song I wrote was Apprentice of Death, which was based off of another Doctor Doom story called The Master of Doom. I forget who wrote that one. I think Mark Miller. I don't remember. Yeah, every single song on the record is about like comic book stuff. It's pretty cool because a lot of people haven't like caught on to it.
Yeah.
Like a Sinister Obsession, some dude thought I was writing about Dr. Fauci or whatever. I'm like, no, man.
Wrong doctor,
no.
man. Wrong doctor.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not getting political here. It's just,
And see, I think that's another thing I really like about jazz music is that it doesn't seem like there's an agenda or anything. It's just you're
no.
telling little stories, and I love it. It's just great.
Yeah, man. I don't like to, I have like in my past songs and whatever, I have my opinions about certain things or whatever, but like I'm not trying to push anything or have any sort of way. I think everyone's allowed to think whatever the fuck they want to think. But yeah, man, it was really writing this album was a lot of fun. Because basically my goal was to write each song, like inspired by like whatever the song I was about. So like before I had any of the songs written, or I guess after I wrote the first two, I was like, fuck it, the rest of these songs are gonna be about comic book stuff. I'm gonna write a song about Magneto. I'm gonna write a song about Mr. Sinister. I'm gonna write a song about Apocalypse. I'm gonna write a song about Carnage. And I just made a list of all of these things I want to write a song about. Actually, Carnage wasn't on the list. Carnage, that was the last song that we wrote. It was a last minute thing because we had another song on the record, and then we were like, let's that song's not ready yet. And then I wrote Parasitic Rain, and we put that on the record instead. But
that's the one with the little the dialogue in the beginning, huh?
Yeah. Track 7.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's just my buddy Chip. He's reading just a line I love from Cletus Cassidy.
I've shown you the worst things in the world, because that's what the world's made of. Everything is sick. Am I getting through to you? Everything is sick, and I love it!
There.
I knew that sounded familiar. I just couldn't quite pinpoint where it came from.
Yeah, it's just a line. It's just a line. I forget what comic it's from, but it's just a cool line that I really enjoyed. That works well, with the theme of the song.
Yeah, definitely, and it sounds wicked as hell.
Yeah. I had my buddy do it, and I'm like, dude, get a little crazy. And it was really fun to track it. That that whatever 12 seconds it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, the little
really
background
fun.
stuff tends to be the fun parts anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, and so yeah, it was cool because I'm like, okay, I want all these songs to be like a soundtrack about this, or kind of. That was my idea at least. So
No, I definitely get it from some of them when I'm reading the lyrics and everything. So it's definitely hit that
yeah,
spot that I think you were looking to hit.
yeah, like for instance, like Forces of Annihilation. I'm like, okay, I'm writing a song about Annihilus, and like the Annihilation story.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I want this to sound chaotic. I want this like chaotic and like fast, like a swarming bugs.
That's what I felt. As soon as that song starts, it feels like there's just like I'm being attacked by a swarm. It was perfect.
Yeah, that was kind of like, but then also it's structured, and like it's being led by a ruler. So then I wanted it to sound kind of almost like royal,
Yeah.
which is why I don't know, why I chose like the melody to sound a little bit more triumphant, because like all these bugs are being led to battle, kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I was going for all of these songs. It's just like how the music represent how at least I felt about the character or the story.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, there's a lot of love and care put into each song, and you can tell it wasn't just, all right, that's good enough. Let's move on to the next. Like you can tell y'all actually like
Oh,
took your
dude,
time with
yeah,
it and gave the love each song deserved. Which is why I think it's
yeah,
good that you said y'all left that last song off. I mean, obviously I haven't heard it or anything, but just the fact that you're like, okay, it's not ready, so we don't want to put it out yet.
yeah. Like I have a hard time even showing demos to like the guys, or like ideas to the guys that I'm not happy with yet.
Yeah.
So like for them they're just like, oh my god, just hurry up, like let's just do something. Let's just do something. I'm like, no. I'm like too, like, I don't know, I'm too controlling a little bit about it. But like I just wanted to, not a perfectionist, because I'm very far from perfect, but I want the music to not sound like, okay, these are just riffs thrown together.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's artwork and it lasts forever. And as a musician and as a music fan, I love when I can hear a record and I'm like, okay, this meant something to them in some form or another, versus like, oh yeah, they're just making this record to fulfill their contract for
Yeah,
the label.
contract, yeah.
You know, you can tell when a band wants to make music and has to make music. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And so yeah, it's a big deal for me to not just put something out, just to have something,
Well, you also want it to be as almost as best as it can possibly be, you know? Like you said, I know nothing's ever perfect, but you still want to strive for it, you know?
Absolutely. Like that's the goal, man. Like total world domination, and have the vision be as clear and as well thought out as possible.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, when did y'all kick off the tour for the album? I saw the dates, but I can't quite remember when it actually starts. I know it's coming up, isn't it?
We did a couple shows. There's no tour booked yet because
Oh, okay.
I have so much Heathen stuff coming out. Like I leave. So yeah, the tour that you probably saw is the Heathen tour.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, we're going out with Overkill and Exporter in USA, and because I'm constantly on the road with Heathen, it's tough to get the Invicta stuff in between, because well, to be honest, it's hard to get all four of us in the same room, because we all kind of like live far from each other, and like our schedules are all crazy. So like planning to do a tour or run or whatever, it can be tough because it's just like, okay, are you available here? Oh no, man, I can't do this because I have this commitment that I made, or I'm doing
Yeah, it
this.
definitely sounds like a band.
So and we want to do like a tour with a good band, and make it like legit, and
Just
just
call
like
up Iron Maiden,
everyone
dude. Y'all got it.
easy.
Yeah, just call them up, dude. They got it. You'll be all right.
And so I've been trying to plan something, but everything keeps falling through as per usual. So maybe, the album's been done for 2 years, so maybe in 2 years we could finally tour the album.
Tour, yeah.
2,000 years later.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying, hopefully sometime this fall.
So y'all just been doing some like local shows and stuff like that?
Yeah. We just played locally. We're from Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario.
Okay.
We just played in Waterloo. We did the whole record front to back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was killer. The turnout was killer. It was a great night.
So in layman's terms, I'm just gonna have to come to Canada to see y'all, right?
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Like we have our visas to like play in the States and stuff. It's just the logistics of driving down.
Yeah, it's
because
tough.
we can't just drive to Charlotte for a show. You know what I mean? Because it's so far, and just to drive back, you know what I mean? Like we have to make like a run, and we want to like do it with a cool band. And every band is busy right now that I've asked. So, yeah, one of these days we'll make it down, and we'll do a lot of these songs for sure. We love playing these songs live. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to hear some of them live for sure. I mean, well, the whole album, honestly. But even if it's just a few of them by the time y'all do make it down here.
Yeah, man, for sure.
And even when y'all do start touring in the U.S., I know it's so hard to get shows in Louisiana. This place is not, does not seem to be the best.
We were supposed to have a New Orleans show on this Overkill tour. And then that's why I messaged you. And then, because X-Order's from New Orleans. And that just never, I guess, I don't know if the venues were booked or something, I'm not sure, but that was the original idea, is that all three bands get like a hometown show on the tour.
Yeah, it would I definitely would have made it to
yeah.
that New Orleans show for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that exactly, but it sucks. But
It's not always the easiest to get something going in New Orleans. It's kind of rough down here. The music scenes, and I mean, we've got good music like locally, but like to try to get bigger bands or like bands from out of the country and stuff, it's tough.
yeah,
Honestly, can't tell you the last time I saw. Actually, yeah, maybe it was probably about 10, 15 years ago. Slipknot came here and played at like Station Champion Square or whatever. But even that was like I said, like 10, 15 years ago.
yeah.
Other than that, the closest we get, it's like we get shows maybe in Mississippi or Texas. But Texas, that's like a 4 or 5 hour drive for me. So that's a long one. And I think the closest y'all are coming to me is Austin, Texas, or maybe Houston. I wasn't sure which one it was.
I think we're doing both.
Both?
I don't remember though. I know. So there's an El Paso show, we have a Dallas show, we have a San Antonio show, and then we have one of the two or both.
Yeah, I remember you said y'all added one because of the New Orleans one not coming through.
Yeah, they just replaced it. Instead of New Orleans, they made it either a Texas or a Florida one. But we're playing super west Florida, like up, not down, but like up.
Like on the west coast?
Yeah. In a place I've never heard before. But yeah, I'm like, playing shows is fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, regardless of where you're going, it's fun. I saw y'all may have y'all got a few of them at a couple of House of Blues and stuff like that. House of Blues is, in my
I've never
opinion,
been.
dude. If y'all ever get a show in New Orleans and at the House of Blues, that will be. I would love that because they're kind of smaller. It's not like huge stadiums or anything. They're a little smaller, more like a little bigger than bar shows. But I just love that feeling of more of like a local kind of feel, you know, where you're like right there up with the band.
Yeah, oh yeah, sick. Yeah, I've never been to a House of Blues before, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. And that's what I was saying about the music here. We got good blues and jazz and like local stuff.
Yeah, I have in New Orleans.
We just don't get anything big around here anymore. It just don't seem like we don't even the festivals aren't even as big as they used to be.
Yeah, I mean it sucks, man. There's a lot of logistics behind planning all this stuff, and
I'm
if the
sure.
interest isn't there, if the interest and the money's not there, then it's tough to make anything happen.
Yeah, right now Texas and like Mississippi and all that area seems to get a lot of metal shows. They just skip right over us, which is fine because I don't mind getting out of here every now and then.
Yeah, that's true. Going on a road trip's fun.
Yeah.
My buddy and I did a road trip recently to catch Morbid Angel and Revocation in Michigan. Drove like 4 or 5 hours for that because Morbid Angel can't come to Canada. So.
Really? I did not know that.
Oh yeah. Drake. There's border problems.
What are you doing in Canada?
What are you doing in Canada?
Oh damn, that's crazy. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so we were like, sweet, they're playing in Flint. Let's just drive up. My buddy is doing sound for them. My good buddy of mine, Don, is doing sound for them. I'm like, perfect. Get to go hang out with the Don, see Morbid Angel and Revocation. I'll drive for that for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then in the fall we drove to, Detroit for 3-ish hours or whatever. See Merciful Fate. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta do it. I get it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Because like I said, we don't get much, but the traveling's pretty fun, especially when you get to see pretty awesome bands. I think the last time we took a trip, because now with the kids it's a little bit harder. A couple years back, I think we drove to Houston to see Metallica. They're still pretty solid live. I mean, the last few records aren't really hitting where I wanted to hit. But
I don't know. I haven't heard any of the new record.
There's a few songs that I like. Kind of gives it more of like a Kill 'Em All vibe, but I just think they're getting a bit older, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's not as I guess it's not as consistent as it used to be. And I still got a lot of thrash in my blood, so when I think Metallica, I'm still thinking like old school thrash, and I guess they're not quite there anymore.
No, they haven't been there in 30 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. But seeing them live, dude, when they play their old stuff, it still sounds just as good. So it was still definitely worth seeing them live.
Definitely. They're pros. I love Metallica. I think they get too much shit.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. Just entirely too much.
But yeah, I saw them a few years ago. It was good.
Give me 1 second here. My stuff's acting up.
No problem.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I think my mic's messed up. 1 second.
It's all good.
All right. So yeah, I know you were saying like, yeah, really happy with the album. Is there anything that you wish y'all would have done different with it?
There's I think there's always something in hindsight that you wish you could change. I don't think I think if anyone that makes music tells you anything differently, I think they're lying. Because yeah, like there's always gonna be stuff where it's like, you know what? I wish I recorded this or added this layer or maybe rephrased this or. Um, so yeah, there's definitely a couple of those on the record that like after absorbing it for the last 2 years, you know what I mean? Since it's been finished, of being like, you know what? I wish I could redo it, but I'm not going to because at the time that's what it was, you know.
Yeah, that's what you were going for then.
Yeah, you know, but like, yeah, there's definitely a couple like I had said about like that bass part, like that guitar part in Forces of Annihilation. Having Steve record that on bass, I'm like, fuck, that would have been killer. But like, yeah, it's just little things like that. But like, yeah, I wouldn't really change. I wouldn't really change the mix. I wouldn't really. I'm super proud of, you know, just being a DIY band.
Yeah.
And like, I think the product holds up with almost any pro thing that you put it with. So
honestly,
I'm proud.
it's the most professional album I've heard in a while. Everything else to me sounds just kind of a bit I won't say like computerized, but like
Yeah, overproduced.
yeah, kind of. And then like the drums sound too fake to me in a lot of metal nowadays. So it was just refreshing to hear something like old school, and I think that's why the album resonates with me so well. It's just like it's what I've been itching for.
Jonah can be so like his musical background and like what he likes and stuff is a lot more polished and produced styles of stuff. And I'm telling him like, dude, it's gotta sound a little bit raw.
Yeah.
It's gotta sound human. You know, like it's gotta sound like we're doing it instead of, you know, we're editing it. You know.
Yeah, no, I definitely like the approach y'all took with it.
I'm not saying that there's no edits. I'm not saying, you know, that there's whatever, because anyone that tells you that a record is completely
like one take is lying. Yeah.
off a grid,
yeah.
No edits, they're lying right to your face, because every single album for the last, you know, 40 years has edits on it. So so it's like, yeah, I'm really happy with, you know, the quality that we did, and I'm looking forward to making new songs to follow it up, and yeah, I think I wouldn't change it, really.
Oh yeah, that's the answer I was actually looking for. And this artwork is just phenomenal, man. Who'd y'all get to do that?
Thanks, man. That's Par Olofsson. He's done quite a few albums for quite a few bands. He's mostly a death metal dude.
Yeah.
You
can kind of see it in the artwork.
Yeah, we had artwork originally that Mario, who did the Halls of Extinction artwork, that he did for us. And then when we were kind of like shopping the record around, it was, some people were like, I don't know, it's not really fitting. Well, whatever. So like, fuck, okay. And then Craig hooked us up with Par. We gave Par like, okay, this is kind of what we want. Boom, boom. And he did his take on what we want. And then that's that for sure.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And it was nice to see when I opened it up, it was on the CD as well. That was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, the design looks cool. AJ from Nuclear Blast, he's been an absolute gem. I got hooked with him through Cragen, and he's been a gem to work with, just helping us out with a lot of our graphic stuff. I can still message him being like, hey man, any way you could whip this up for me?
Do this real quick.
He's so quick. He's so sick. He's super pro for sure. So Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, dude. It was. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about with the album, or do you want to do some shout outs maybe?
Whatever you want. Obviously, shout outs go to all, Marvel Comics and all of the artists and the writers that inspired me to, make these songs. That it got my creative juices going when I'm like, oh, this would be a killer story for a song. Shout out to, my band, Jonah, Reef, and Steve. Thanks for putting up with all my bullshit.
Yeah, Kyle's really been fucking pissing me off. Like, fuck.
The boys here in town. Thanks to everyone who's listened to the album and purchased it and played it and shared it. It keeps us going, because like if we're making music for people and people don't want the music, what's the point of it? So I'm glad that there's a lot of people out there that want the music and that enjoy it. And yeah, I don't know. Thanks to just everyone that's been involved with the whole Invicta thing so far. And all the Invicta fans that come out to the Heathen shows, that's always cool, being on the other side of the planet and there's someone in an Invicta shirt or whatever. It's super cool and super weird, because for me, I'm just
it's like, hey, that's me. I'm just a regular dude.
I'm a music fan, so I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what?
It's like just imagine Iron Maiden like pushing your stuff out. I could only, I would lose my mind.
Well, I mean, you could just shoot me in the face right after that. What's the point of living?
Oh yeah, I'm done. That's my goal. I'm done.
That's it. That's it. But yeah, man, I just honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank everyone that's been supportive and repped the band in any sort of fashion, for sure. It's super sick.
Yeah, it's an awesome ride, and I'm definitely here on board the whole time, ready for any music y'all want to put out, any videos. I'm just we're definitely my new obsession.
Love it, dude.
Yeah, and I have to give a shout out to Chris from Metal Mania for that, because if it wasn't for him, I probably would not have come across it, because my algorithm on my internet is terrible. I get some of the dumbest shit pushed toward me, so I came across Chris, and I
love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to him almost every day. He's almost like my dad away from me, like across the country. He's just a cool. He's always trying to help push that metal out, and I love it.
Absolutely, he's a genuine dude for sure.
And I caught the interview you did with him not too long ago too. I think y'all were talking about the album for a while on there, and just shows. And yeah, it's always good to get caught up. But
yeah, that was cool. That was funny how I got off the plane in Germany. I'm like, all right, let's do this thing.
Yeah, that's gotta be awesome, man. How's that like playing across seas and stuff like that?
No, I mean, people say, the saying is, living the dream, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like calling it the dream, because it's everything I've ever done to work towards.
Yeah,
it's
no work for it. Yeah.
For me, it's
no
different.
Reward.
You go to law school and you become a lawyer. And for me, every decision I ever made, every class I ever took in school, everything I ever did was to be a touring musician, to be a metal musician. So it's like, it's just the natural step of things to just go and do this thing. Like, I'm like, ever since I was like a kid, I'm like, yeah, I want to go tour and play festivals in Europe. It's just now it's happening, which is super fucking cool.
Yeah.
And like it's pretty unreal. Like, I don't know, it's like watching the festival videos on YouTube. Like, me and my buddies like sit around and watch like whatever band at whatever festival live with Pro Shot. It's like watching that, but like you're there.
But it's you.
So
yeah.
it's like it's weird, thing. Yeah, I love playing overseas. Everyone's always so welcoming and so nice, and I love, having the different beers, the different foods, different cultures. So, yeah, man, like that's how I want to spend my life, just traveling around, living in a van with the boys, playing music, right?
Oh yeah, that's the life right there for sure.
Yeah, man, that's how I want to spend my life. I don't know. I don't want to have. I'm tired of like a 9 to 5. I hate my day job, right? So
Hmm.
tired of that shit. So just want to play guitar, play riffs full time.
Yeah, full time, man. Why not? That's the way to do
Exactly.
it. I mean, there's a ton of other people that can pull it off, and yeah, definitely have the skill for it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just gotta. It's tough to make it, but just you have to be super fucking stubborn and
Yeah,
just keep going.
definitely. Don't stop. Yep. As soon as you stop, that's the only thing that's you're gonna lose with if you just give up on it. And
Absolutely.
I know too many guys personally that just like have all this skill and they just don't have the drive for it. Or
Oh,
like
dude, tell me about it. I
they do
know.
one album and it doesn't reach the point that they want it to, so they're like, oh well, I guess that's it. It's like, nah, you got to
Absolutely, man.
keep pushing, you got to keep going.
I know lots of people like that, and
Yeah,
and that's cool. Like I'm all for it. If you genuinely, if you're like, you know what, this isn't for me, that's totally cool.
yeah,
That's totally cool. I respect that. But like that sometimes there's a couple people in my life where I'm like, dude, you could play in any band you want to. Like,
yep.
if I had your skill, like,
Well,
but
it's like you saying
in
your
the day,
buddy that can pick up any instrument. I know a guy like that, dude. Anything he can touch, he can make music out of, but he just he don't really want to do it anymore. It's like, man, you
and
got
you
so
know what?
much there.
There are some days where I'm like, why am I doing this? Right? So I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But like, you just gotta be stubborn and keep going, and then you know.
And
It's
see that I kind of feel that a little bit too, with me trying to do this YouTube or podcast thing, because I've been out of it for years since I had the kids, and every
for
time
sure,
I
man.
start to work myself up to start doing it again, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what's the point? I'm gonna put this video out and I may get 50 people watch it, but after I kind of get out of my own head, I'm like, you know what? I do it because it's fun.
Yeah,
I
because
like
you
doing
enjoy
it,
it.
and then I
Yeah.
get to meet cool ass people like you and Chris and stuff like that. So, and this will
Yeah.
actually be the first video I've done since I had the kids. So, first time I'm actually editing and putting it out, and then I'm actually gonna try to put this out as like an actual podcast too. So,
Yeah. Sick.
hopefully it'll work out. So, if this interview is
Absolutely.
a little weird, it's just because it's my first one. So, or
Dude,
first real one.
listen, I prefer doing something like this over just being asked a list of questions.
Yeah.
I
I
prefer
did,
just
dude. I didn't even prep questions. I was like, I'm gonna just
yeah,
go with the flow.
absolutely just chat, talk.
Yeah, definitely.
So and it helps that you actually listen to the record because sometimes you get an interview and this guy's asking questions and like you've never even listened to it.
I mean, I made it a point to try to learn these guys' names too, but I'm really bad with names, so I just keep looking at
Oh,
the
dude,
the CD here.
I'm the worst with names. I feel so bad sometimes because like I'll meet a guy like 50 times and it's like every single time is like the first time I'm meeting the guy. I feel so bad. Saying that,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just so dumb.
No, I'm the same way. I mean, shit, I'm like that even with my managers at work. I'm like, wait, which one are you again?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's all good though.
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to get together with Chris again and do like another thing with him because I know a while back I had you, Chris, and then my buddy Tyler. We did a bunch of Marvel talk about shows and stuff like that, which sadly I
Yeah,
never got to really fully edit and put out there. And I was
I'm
going
not good.
to, but I don't think I will anymore just because of how irrelevant it is at this point. Because some of the stuff we talked about was like
Yeah,
way, like, because I think at that point only WandaVision was out. So,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a little outdated.
Yeah. Like I said, them kids, man, it's a lot.
Dude, that's life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I chose it. That's what I wanted, but
Hell yeah.
hopefully this almost done with the somewhat newborn stage, and that's rough. But other than
Yeah.
that, like right now, I mean, both of them are home, but they're in another room right now. I'm able to still do this, so that actually kind of keeps me going. So I'm like, wait, if I could sit here, talk to you for a whole hour, I mean, I can get a lot more done too. So
Yeah, exactly, man.
this right here is putting a fire under my ass. So maybe I'll start seeing more content from me too.
Perfect.
And like I said, like I'm trying to get Chris back on, and whenever I do, if you want to come back on and just bullshit talk with us, if you got time for it.
If I'm around and I got a couple minutes to spare, for sure, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. Well, all right, man. It was definitely good talking to you. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up here because, like I said, it's been about an hour, and
Yeah.
our videos are about a good way to edit. You know, once we start hitting that 4-hour mark like we did last time, that was a little much for me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming on and just talking with me, bullshitting for a little bit. And
fuck yeah.
but yeah, if you want to go ahead and let everybody know where they can find your music and stuff like that, that'd be great.
Yeah, just look up Invicta Metal on whatever you want, man. Invicta on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Music, fucking Fugazi Music, whatever streaming thing you want. You can go to our Bandcamp. Our Facebook and our Instagram are pretty active on those. Follow us, stay up to date with what the hell we're doing. Yeah, man, just fucking keep being metal, keep being brutal. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, dude. Well, I'll catch you later, man.
Absolutely, man.
Have a good
All the best.
afternoon, dude.